Hi, yesterday I took a trip into Chicago down the Eisenhower Expressway. Uh, I live in central Illinois right now, and after the mayor of Chicago put down a stay at home order, uh, I kept seeing pictures of a deserted downtown, and I thought, I'd take this opportunity to drive in and see what was going on. And I'm not planning on getting out of my car at all during this whole thing. I just wanted to document a trip into Chicago with absolutely no traffic. And I did actually come across a lot of traffic, but not quite the level that I'm used to out there. So here we go. So right now I'm starting right out by where 294 turns into 290, and it's around LaGrange, Illinois, far west suburbs. And as you can see, there's traffic out there, but I mean, for a Wednesday morning, this is crazy empty. And it's like people are taking advantage of it. So I grew up in Riverside, which is a few miles up ahead here, and I have never ever driven into Chicago down the Eisenhower without some sort of backup and crazy drivers like that. You're going to see that a lot. And right, and this guy, yeah, that happens every time. I mean, it's empty, and there's just crazy people out there. So anyway. So right now it's 3 lanes and it's completely open, and we're getting up to Cicero Avenue. At Cicero Avenue, usually there's a fourth lane that opens up, um, but it really doesn't matter here. It's just, I think this is Cicero Avenue I'm at right now. So we're getting close to uh, the outskirts of the city limits. And you're going to start seeing the city pop up here in the horizon. It was really foggy on the way in. I could barely see it about 100 yards ahead of me on the way up I-55, but as I got closer to the city, it cleared up. Um, and right now, this is kind of crazy. I think we're within the city limits now, and I've never seen it this incredibly empty. And there were a lot of trucks out. You don't see them really in this video. There were a lot of trucks out, which is good to see because back in the recession, uh, that's one thing you didn't see was a lot of trucks. And that was the only reason the highways were really open back then, 2008, 2009. Was a lack of transportation, but things are moving. They've got some construction going on down here, and this is a killer usually on the Eisenhower. You're going to see traffic start backing up for people getting on 94 south. I think I'm not sure where everybody was going, but it's pretty cramped, and I'm not stopping. There is no slowdown. So right now we're going to hop on Congress Parkway. Here we come on. I believe that's the old post office. Just went under, and I'm going to slow it down here because I love this building. We used to call this the Legion of Doom. You can see why. That is the exchange, stock exchange, I think, or to trade. I'm not sure. So we're on Congress Parkway, heading toward Michigan Avenue. And we're going to take a left we can't actually take a left right there. We have to kind of go around. And yeah, okay. So we're going to take a right now onto Michigan Avenue. And I'm going to cut out all the stoplights because it's just a lot of time wasted sitting at stoplights. So you're going to see. I wanted to see that guy right go by. So you're gonna see that cut out. So this is Michigan Avenue, and on a Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock, which is, I mean, if you're gonna consider Chicago deserted, this is a deserted Chicago. We're going over the river right now. Buses are still running. There's a lot of police out there. There's who's a good dog? Who's a good dog? You're a good dog. You're gonna see a lot of police kind of parked in the middle, in the median. Sorry, I touched my face. And I'm not exactly sure if they're keeping people from congregating on Michigan Avenue. I mean, it's usually pretty crowded. We just went by the old water tower. I think we're going to say goodbye to our dog friend up here. And at the northern part of Michigan Avenue, we're going to jump onto Lakeshore Drive. So let's take a trip up LSD with nobody on it. And I rarely ever see it this abandoned and open, and people take advantage of it. You're going to see some people just flying by. I zoomed this up to about 4 times speed, so you wouldn't be sitting here for a half hour watching me drive. And you're going to hear like chipmunk chatter on there, and that's me occasionally trying to talk, and I fail miserably because I can't talk and drive. That's why I'm doing this inset video, because if I start talking and I'll miss exits, and I go on autopilot. It's not like I can't drive when I'm talking, it's just I can't navigate when I'm talking. If I'm going in a straight line, I'm fine. So we're headed north side, we're getting close to Lincoln Park in that area. We're gonna hop off at, I think Broadway is the northern end. And I think I take a left onto Broadway where Lakeshore Drive ends. But it's super clear. This is just amazing. This is like being on Lakeshore Drive at 3 a.m. and I don't recommend anybody drive Lakeshore Drive at 3 a.m. because you know why. So here we are. We're getting right at the end. And what I did, I was actually checking on a friend's car. She's kind of stuck down in Florida during this whole stay-at-home thing, and I checked on her car, and I was making sure that it was all right. And as you can see, it's not all right. It has coronavirus. So I sent that to her. Total loss. So I love driving down Lakeshore Drive because just seeing the city just come up on you on the right, and then coming up on Navy Piers on the left there with the Ferris wheel. This is probably one of my favorite views of the city. And you can't really see it. Once we come around the curve here around Navy Pier, if you look to the right, you can see kind of what it looks like going across the river now. Just, and you can see it's just a beautiful vista. It's just amazing. Okay, so we're headed down Lakeshore Drive around Buckingham Fountain now. You can't really see, but there are people on the lakefront walking, and I'll go into kind of that later. The Field Museum on the left. And we are headed toward, we're going to go by Soldier Field on the left with a big spaceship on top. And then I'm going to head back up north. We're going to take a little trip back down Congress Parkway and Dearborn and Randolph, and then we'll end this. we're back on Commerce Parkway, headed west. And if you look ahead, you'll see Legion of Doom. Wow. So we'll take a right on Dearborn, and we're headed. Yeah, I can point out some things. The post office is on the left there. What I knew as the Prudential building was the one with the slanted sides. I used to work down here. My first job was working down here. We're going to go by that building here. So come around. There's the Picasso on the left by the Richard Daley Center. We're going to take a left, and we're going to see the James Thompson Center right there. I think that was the Paramount Theater that just went by. We're headed down to Wacker now. Now I think we're headed toward Wacker. Now we're on Wacker. And I was thinking of going to Lower Wacker. I should have gone to Lower Wacker because that's a fun drive. And right now we are headed to LaSalle. We're going to take a left onto LaSalle. And the blue building right there is the first building I worked in out of college for a law firm, Clausen Miller, Gorman, Caffrey, Wittes, on I think the 40th floor. I can't remember. I think it was the 40th floor. I did printer support and hardware support. In fact, I got in trouble because somebody asked me what the difference between a LaserJet 1 and a LaserJet 2 was, and this was the guy with the yellow balloon. I'm surprised that I only encountered that once. So anyway, that was it. So anyway, the LaserJet 1 and LaserJet 2, the difference between that was that the LaserJet 2 was the one that didn't break down, and I got a lot of trouble for saying that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that trip. Thanks for watching.
There is action. This is in Hanover Park and Lake Street, all jammed up on the northbound side as you approach Ontarioville Road. You have a crash block in the left lane. Everybody's squeezing by on the right. Again, expressways, so far so clear. Edens, Kennedy, both great. A little heavy on the inbound Ike as you approach the Jane Byrne interchange, about 33 from the 390/20. If you're coming in from Manheim, outbound is clear. I know Stevenson delays for you, but 55 still sluggish in and out from Arsenal as you lose a lane either way to ongoing bridge repair. Dan Ryan, I-57 to Bishop Ford, trouble-free, as is Lakeshore Drive. Clear across your tollways. Just make sure you're staying in those open road toll lanes. Those I-pass lanes are the only lanes that you can use because the cash lanes remain closed throughout the coming weeks. If you're on 80, you're good and nice and easy in or out of Northwest Indiana.